everybody, welcome on this new video, I guess. I'm gonna address some things of what's been going on for the past year and a half. Well, yeah, year and a half, whatever. So, at the beginning of 2025, it was good. Like, I was happy on YouTube and off YouTube as well. And July came around, my toxic friend, not naming names because he subscribed to my channel, whatever. My toxic friend, he got mad at my ex that I'm on good terms with for being in a relationship, which I find it pretty stupid, I guess. Fast forward to August, I had a friend that I knew personally, like in real life. First of all, this is not a scripted video. I don't make scripts. I just come up with this. I want to say, around August of that year, I had a friend personally that passed away. Not saying on what it is because I don't want to start crying on camera. So fast forward to, I believe, October, November, the situation between my friend, toxic friend, got a lot worse, I would say. He wasn't really understanding, and I have the messages to prove it, whatever. And I know he's gonna say, well, I'm not judging the narrative, which you were. Then December came where I was getting a lot of hate on TikTok. I was going off on people, which I shouldn't have because it made the situation a lot worse. My friend Javon was getting hate from this fake account. It was a lot. Try not to cry, geez. And then I've been looking back on certain things that I thought was normal when I was 15, 16, when I was in theater, where this theater teacher was pretty weird. Can we, I'm gonna say this on camera. Try not to cry, geez. Where I remember we were doing a certain play, which you can find on my video. We were doing a certain play during one of the rehearsals. I believe it was 2024 of February or whatever, where I felt something on my arm. Like, that theater teacher touched my shoulder. One thing about me is I don't like touch, like, at all. Like, before I was like, oh, whatever, like, it's fine. I told this story so many times to my friends. And then he touched my shoulder. It wasn't SA. It wasn't, I don't know if I can say it, sexual assault. Thank God. But it was pretty weird because I'm like, what if it could have been? Like, that's why I'm speaking out about what's been going on, because Alexa Negatives has her own channel, which I'm gonna tag the channel in the description. She's a badass, per se. So, fast forward. Well, I'm backtracking. My brain isn't working. To 2022, when I was 16, around September 10th, after Just Dance 2023 got announced, I found out that my friend I had known online passed away from cancer. I don't like saying that word because it scares me so bad. Passed away from cancer, but also, for y'all who don't know Avery, littlesiha, she does this fundraiser for St. Jude, whatever. That's a hospital that my friend used to go to, which I didn't know. Like, I'm like, whoa, wow. So Avery, thanks for doing that. Your team, center stage, is awesome. So back to 2025. I was getting fake accounts about me that weren't true. People were trying to find information about me, which it actually did scare me. One of the accounts figured out what school I need to go to, and I was like, okay, what the hell? Like, this isn't something I would experience. Then I was broke down on stream, so I had to end the stream. Then when I was on my friend's stream, the person was... My biggest pet peeve is that I don't like when people talk over me. It was so weird, like, try not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. And then, so back to what I was saying about my toxic friend, he got his mom to text me, so I was like, okay, this he was. For context, I was supposed to. My friend group is so nice. I don't care what he has to say. My friend group is nice. They have been there for me since school, high school. Not saying which school I go to. That I need to go to, whatever. It was a situation between me and my toxic friend. It was a lot. Not only that, trying not to cry. I don't like crying. I can actually feel it in my ears, in my eyes, whatever. It was a lot. I never thought I would say this on camera. She threatened to call the police on me. That I have proof of. And I know you're gonna call me when like, well, you weren't listening to me. Which I shouldn't listen to you because you're like a 15-year-old. Or whatever age you are. And I'm not saying so. I'm more mature than you during that point. So I did told a few of my friends about the situation. It actually made me feel better. I do have depression, a bit anxiety. I do get panic attacks. So that's why if you ever see my videos, I don't look happy in some of them. But inside I was hurting because of what was going on and all that crap. So after that whole mess, I took a step back from making videos on YouTube for almost a year now, of December, I believe. So, which I was originally going to come back around next month. I'm like, I don't want to, because I want to come back in January. So, not only that, me opening up about I don't like talk about my feelings. That's why I can't do anything, which you know what I'm referring to. But I love talking to my friends about it. It's more normal for me to open up about certain things to my friends than I would do with anyone else. So after that, I keep having these weird dreams about what that theater teacher did to me. Again, it wasn't an essay, it wasn't a sexual assault or whatever, thank God. So I found out, I believe it was either July or whatever, or June. I don't remember if it was July or June. I think it was 2024. I don't remember. Where I found out that the teacher got fired, which awesome for that. But then I was reading off of Google that he retired, which he didn't. There was allegations about him that was happening at my school when I was there. So not only that, my depression was slowing down until I was dealing with toxic people that were not treating me like a good person. So I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm an overthinker, so my overthinking is way bad, but I don't overthink when I'm expressing my feelings to my friends. So yeah, that's how my life has been over the past 4 years almost of being on social media and being an influencer. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.